A cold wind howled through the empty streets of downtown Los Angeles as Nathan Harper pulled his tattered coat closer to his body. He had long since grown used to the harsh reality of homelessness, but some nights were harder than others. The city that once felt like home now seemed to have forgotten him. Nathan hadn't always lived on the streets. In fact, he had once been a respected automotive engineer, working on cutting-edge technology that had the potential to change the industry. But life had a way of taking unexpected turns. A messy divorce, a few bad financial decisions, and a company layoff had left him with nothing. Before he knew it, he was another forgotten soul trying to survive. Tonight was like any other. Nathan sat on the curb outside a small cafe, hoping someone might drop a few spare dollars into his cup. His stomach growled, reminding him that he hadn't eaten all day. He sighed and leaned against the cold brick wall, his breath visible in the night air. A sleek black Tesla pulled up to the curb, its headlights casting long shadows down the street. Nathan barely paid it any attention. Luxury cars were common in this part of town. But what caught his eye was the driver stepping. A tall man, dressed casually in a dark jacket and jeans, emerged from the car. He seemed oddly familiar, but Nathan couldn't quite place him. The man glanced around as if searching for something. Then, to Nathan's surprise, he started walking toward him. "Hey there," the man said, his voice carrying a slight South African accent. "You okay?" Nathan hesitated. Most people ignored him. Some threw him disgusted glances, while others avoided eye contact altogether. But this man was different. He seemed genuinely interested. "I've been better," Nathan admitted with a weak chuckle. The man nodded. "Tough night?" Nathan nodded. "Tough life." The man studied him for a moment. "What's your name?" "Nathan," he replied. "Nathan Harper." The man extended his hand. "Nice to meet you, Nathan. I'm Elon." Nathan's eyes widened in disbelief. Elon? As in Elon Musk? The billionaire? The innovator? The man behind Tesla and SpaceX? Nathan shook his hand, still stunned. I know who you are." Elon smiled. "I figured." He glanced at the small pile of belongings Nathan had with him. "Listen, I don't usually do this, but I could use some help. My car has a minor issue. I noticed some odd vibrations. I usually have my team handle it, but since I'm in the area, maybe you can take a look?" Nathan blinked. Was this some kind of joke? Him? A homeless man? Working on a Tesla? "Used to be an engineer," Nathan admitted. "But that was a long time ago." "Engineering doesn't leave you," Elon said. "If you're willing, I'd love your input." Nathan hesitated for only a moment before nodding. This was his chance to feel useful again. He pushed himself up from the curb and walked over to the Tesla. Elon popped the hood, and Nathan's instincts kicked in. He traced his fingers along the components, listening, analyzing, feeling for anything off. After a few minutes, he looked up. "I think it's a minor calibration issue with the adaptive suspension," Nathan said. "It's not a mechanical problem, just software needing a tweak." Elon raised an eyebrow. "That's exactly what I suspected. You really know your stuff." Nathan shrugged. "It's been a while." Elon studied him for a moment. "How did you end up out here?" Nathan exhaled slowly. "Lost my job, divorce, one bad thing after another." Elon nodded, his expression thoughtful. "You know, people think success is just a straight line, but I've been on the edge more times than I can count." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a $100 bill. "For your help." Nathan shook his head. "I don't want charity." Elon grinned. "It's not charity. It's payment for your consultation." Nathan hesitated before finally accepting the money. It had been a long time since anyone had valued his skills. "Thank you," Nathan said sincerely. Elon nodded. "Stay safe, Nathan." He got back into his car and drove off, leaving Nathan standing there, still processing what had just happened. The next morning, Nathan woke up in his usual spot behind an abandoned storefront. The city was just beginning to stir. He rubbed his eyes and stretched, preparing for another day of survival. But then something unexpected happened. A sleek white Tesla pulled up in front of him. Nathan squinted against the rising sun. The door opened, and Elon Musk stepped out. "Nathan!" Elon called. Nathan scrambled to his feet, confused. "Elon!" Elon grinned. "Hope you don't mind an early morning visit." Nathan blinked. "What's going on?" Elon reached into his jacket and pulled out an envelope. "I was thinking about our conversation last night. I did some digging. You were one hell of an engineer." Nathan shrugged. "I was, once." Elon handed him the envelope. "I think you still are." Nathan hesitated before opening it. Inside was a job offer, a position at Tesla, full salary, benefits. Nathan's heart pounded in his chest. "Is this real?" Elon nodded. "Real, as it gets. I don't believe in wasting talent, and I think you deserve another shot." Tears welled in Nathan's eyes. He hadn't cried in years. He had accepted his fate long ago. But now, for the first time in ages, he felt hope. "You're giving me a job?" Nathan asked, his voice shaking. Elon smiled. "I'm giving you a chance. The rest is up to you." Nathan swallowed the lump in his throat. "I won't let you down." Elon clapped him on the shoulder. "I know you won't. Now let's get you cleaned up. First day's tomorrow." As Nathan stepped into Elon's car, he felt something he hadn't felt in years, a future. And it all started with a simple act of kindness. As Nathan sat in the passenger seat of Elon's Tesla, he kept glancing down at the job offer in his hands, as if it might disappear. The clean, crisp paper felt almost unreal beneath his fingertips. A job. A real job. He had spent so many nights, convincing himself that his career, his skills, his life were over. And yet, here he was. Elon drove through the city with ease, the soft hum of the electric engine filling the silence between them. Nathan found himself sneaking glances at the billionaire beside him. He had seen countless interviews and read articles about Musk's relentless drive and ambition, but nothing compared to this. Seeing the man in action, not as a tech mogul, but as a human being. "Where are we going?" Nathan finally asked. Elon smirked. "First things first. You need a fresh start. We'll get you some clothes, a phone, and a place to stay. Can't have my new engineer living on the streets, can I?" Nathan exhaled sharply. The kindness was overwhelming. He wasn't used to people caring, much less going out of their way to help him. "You don't have to do all that," he murmured. Elon shot him a knowing look. "I know, but I want to." Minutes later, they pulled up to a high-end shopping district. Nathan hesitated as he stepped out of the car, feeling out of place among the well-dressed professionals and shoppers. But Elon strode forward confidently, leading him into a store. A sales associate rushed over with a polite smile, but her expression faltered when she took in Nathan's worn clothes and scruffy appearance. Before she could say a word, Elon clapped a hand on Nathan's shoulder. "My friend here needs a new wardrobe," he said. "Everything, suits, casual wear, the works." The associate's eyes widened as she registered who Elon Musk was. "Of course, Mr. Musk, right this way." Nathan spent the next hour trying on clothes, feeling like he was living someone else's life. He had forgotten what it was like to wear something clean, something that fit him properly. By the time he stepped out of the dressing room in a sharp, tailored outfit, he barely recognized himself in the mirror. Elon grinned. "Now, that's more like it." Next, they headed to a tech store, where Elon bought Nathan a brand new phone and laptop. Nathan protested at first, but Elon waved him off. "You'll need these for work," Elon said. "Consider it part of the onboarding process." Afterward, Elon drove him to a hotel, a nice one. As they stepped into the lobby, Nathan hesitated. He had spent years sleeping on sidewalks and in shelters, Walking into a place like this felt wrong. Elon seemed to sense his hesitation. "Just for now," he said, "until you find a place of your own." Nathan nodded slowly. At the front desk, Elon paid for a month's stay in advance. "Room service is on me," he added with a wink. Nathan swallowed hard. "I don't know how to thank you." Elon clapped him on the shoulder. "You'll thank me by proving to the world and to yourself that you still have it." The next morning, Nathan woke up in a real bed for the first time in years. He ran a hand over the crisp sheets, taking in the unfamiliar but welcome sensation. For the first time in a long while, he wasn't waking up to the ache of cold pavement beneath him. He showered, shaved, and put on his new clothes before heading downstairs. Elon was waiting for him in the lobby, checking his phone. When he saw Nathan, he gave an approving nod. "Looking sharp," he said. Nathan grinned. "Feeling human again." Elon led him to the Tesla, and soon they were driving toward Tesla's headquarters. As they approached the massive facility, Nathan's heart pounded. He had spent years watching the rise of Tesla from the sidelines. Now he was about to walk through its doors as an employee. Inside, they were greeted by a team of executives and engineers. Nathan immediately felt the weight of their stares. Some looked curious, others skeptical. He couldn't blame them. What was a homeless man doing here, being personally escorted by their CEO? Elon didn't bother with explanations. He simply introduced Nathan as a new member of the team. "Nathan's got a sharp engineering mind," he said. "I expect great things from him." The skepticism in the room didn't vanish, but Elon's word carried weight. No one dared challenge his decision outright. Nathan spent the day shadowing engineers, absorbing everything like a sponge. Despite the years he had spent away from the industry, his mind quickly reignited. He could still see the patterns, still understand the mechanics and software behind the machines. By lunchtime, he was already suggesting solutions to problems some engineers had been stuck on for weeks. One of the senior engineers, a man named Victor, crossed his arms as he listened to Nathan explain a potential fix for a battery efficiency issue. "That's actually not a bad idea," Victor admitted grudgingly. "Where'd you learn all this?" Nathan hesitated. "I was in the industry for years before life happened." Victor gave him a long look before finally nodding. "Welcome to the team." As the days turned into weeks, Nathan proved himself over and over again. His ideas weren't just good, they were brilliant. He had an instinct for engineering that couldn't be taught. Slowly but surely, the skepticism from his colleagues faded, replaced by genuine respect. One evening, as he was wrapping up work, Elon stopped by his desk. "You've been doing incredible work," he said. "How are you feeling?" Nathan smiled. "Like I belong again." Elon nodded. "That's the goal." Then, with a smirk, he added, "By the way, I have another proposition for you." Nathan raised an eyebrow. "What's that?" Elon's eyes twinkled. "You ever thought about working on something bigger than cars?" Nathan's breath caught in his throat. "You mean SpaceX?" Elon grinned. "Let's just say I think your talents could reach beyond Earth." Nathan stared at him, stunned. Months ago, he had been sleeping on the streets, convinced his life was over. Now he was being offered the chance to work on the future of space travel. He took a deep breath, a slow smile spreading across his face. "I'm in." And just like that, the man who had once lost everything was on his way to changing the world. The transition from Tesla to SpaceX wasn't immediate, but Nathan Harper knew from the moment Elon mentioned it that his life was heading in a direction he never could have imagined. He had gone from struggling to find his next meal to working, alongside some of the brightest minds on the planet. And now, Elon Musk was offering him a chance to go even further, to push the boundaries of human exploration. The next few weeks at Tesla were a whirlwind. Nathan continued refining battery efficiency models, working on adaptive AI for vehicle performance, and even contributing to a new prototype for long-range energy storage. His colleagues, once skeptical of him, now sought him out for advice. He was no longer just a homeless man Elon had taken a chance on. He was an indispensable member of the team. Then, one afternoon, Elon called him into his office. "Are you ready for the next step?" Elon asked, leaning back in his chair. Nathan exhaled slowly. "I think so." Elon grinned. "Good, because I need you at SpaceX." Nathan's heart pounded. He had always admired the work being done at SpaceX. The thought of contributing to it? That was beyond anything he had ever dreamed. 2 days later, Nathan found himself standing in front of the massive SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California. As he walked through the doors, he couldn't help but feel a wave of emotion. This was the pinnacle of engineering and innovation, and he was about to be part of it. Elon personally introduced Nathan to Gwynne Shotwell, the president and COO of SpaceX. She was a sharp, no-nonsense leader who had played a crucial role in making SpaceX the powerhouse it had become. She studied Nathan carefully before shaking his hand. "Elon speaks highly of you," she said. "That's rare." Nathan chuckled. Nervously, "I'll do my best to prove him right." Gwynne nodded. "That's all we ask." Nathan was placed on the Raptor engine team, the group responsible for developing the engines that would power SpaceX's Starship. His focus? Improving engine efficiency and reducing material stress during high-intensity launches. At first, it was overwhelming. The technology, the complexity, the sheer scale of the work, it was unlike anything he had ever dealt with. But as the days passed, Nathan found himself settling into a rhythm. His problem-solving skills kicked in, and soon, he was making contributions that impressed even the most seasoned engineers. One evening, as he was running calculations, he noticed something odd in the combustion cycle data. A minor inefficiency, so small that most would overlook it, but Nathan's instincts told him it mattered. He spent the next 2 days analyzing it, tweaking models and running simulations. Finally, he brought his findings to the lead propulsion engineer, Dr. Michael Farrow. "I think I found a way to improve efficiency in the preburner," Nathan said, placing his notes on the table. "A slight modification to the injector design could reduce thermal stress and improve fuel mixture by at least 2%. Dr. Farrow raised an eyebrow. 2% might not sound like much, but in rocketry that's huge. He skimmed the data, his expression shifting from skepticism to intrigue. This could actually work. Within a week, Nathan's modifications were tested in a controlled environment. The results were undeniable. The Raptor engine's performance improved significantly, and Elon himself took notice. One afternoon, as Nathan was heading out for a break, Elon caught up with him. "Heard about your injector redesign," Elon said. "Brilliant work." Nathan grinned. "Just trying to pull my weight." Elon smirked. "Well, you're doing more than that. You're changing the game." Over the next several months, Nathan's reputation grew within SpaceX. He became known for his unconventional problem-solving skills and sharp engineering instincts. He was no longer just a former car engineer. He was a key player in humanity's journey to Mars. Then, one evening, he received an email that made his breath catch. Subject: Mission consideration. Nathan opened the message, his eyes scanning the text. It was from SpaceX's crew selection board. They were inviting him to participate in the candidate evaluation process for an upcoming Starship mission. He read the email 3 times, barely believing it. Him? A mission candidate? That night, he barely slept. The next morning, he met with Elon, who seemed to already know why he was there. "So," Elon said with a grin, "you ready to go to space?" Nathan hesitated. It was one thing to design rockets. It was another to fly in one. I never even considered it," he admitted. Elon leaned forward. Think about where you were a year ago. Sleeping on the streets, forgotten. Now you have a chance to be part of something historic. You don't have to say yes, but I think you should. Nathan took a deep breath. The weight of his journey hit him all at once. From homelessness to Tesla, from Tesla to SpaceX, and now, possibly to the stars. He looked Elon in the eye and smiled. I'm in. A year ago, he had been invisible to the world. Now he was